I have with me now Marcus Shaw McBain, who has made a brilliant movie called The Rites of Peace, and it particularly looks at a specific Balinese ceremony. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of your film because my pronunciations are becoming legendary. So the real title of your film?
The name of the ceremony is the Karyagung Madewasraya.
Right. Now this is a ceremony I believe is over 1,000 years old, and it happens on a regular basis. This is correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
It was first recorded in the year 1100 on the Prasasti tablets, which
Right.
are very old stone tablets,
Yeah.
which they carry and are very, very sacred, written in Jawa Kuning.
Mm-hmm.
And from the transcription, they still perform the ceremony today.
Right. Now how regularly is this ceremony performed? I know there's a very important one which is performed once every 100 years, but this one is more regular, yeah?
This one's to be performed every 5 years to maintain the balance.
Right.
Peace.
This is the purpose, is it?
Yeah.
It's to maintain peace and balance and harmony,
Yes.
not only in Bali, but,
No, but it's for the whole planet.
the whole world, yeah.
They believe that this ceremony is
Yeah.
to balance peace between man, God, and nature, and that when this balance is kept, that it brings about prosperity for all living beings.
And happiness as well, and
It's
harmony.
Chahita Karana, which
Yeah,
is the
right.
Balinese spiritual
Now,
philosophy.
This ceremony wasn't performed in 2001. Apparently there was like financial reasons at the time. Bali was going through an economic crisis, and they didn't perform the ceremony. And then, of course, the following year there was the bomb, and it became a big effort to
Yeah.
make sure the ceremony happened in 2006.
Yeah.
This is correct? Yeah.
Yeah, they were meant to perform it, but due to budget reasons, the ceremony takes 6 months to prepare.
This is why
Holy water has to be gathered from different countries and brought together
Yeah.
and mixed for the ceremony.
So it's 6 months preparation for like an 8-day ceremony
Yeah.
in itself. I saw this.
But it's actually not. It's a month and a half.
Really?
But
Right.
it goes from the new moon to the full moon back to the new moon again.
And the ceremony's going on the whole time during that month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different parts every day. And each part is like a part of Balinese life. The ceremonies that they perform monthly or
Right.
weekly for the different things, like Nipi,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
they perform here. There's a Nipi which is held
As part
there.
of that ceremony as well. Yeah. I saw it in your film, what was interesting too, things like the holy water had to be specially prepared, and animals had to be chosen
Yep.
for the ceremony, and then a young boy and girl have to be selected to be representative of purity and innocence, I guess.
Yeah.
And this all takes place in this 6 months preparation. Yeah. Now, about the film itself, I found the film absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed watching it. I'd like you to tell me just a little bit about how you made it, because what really impressed me about the film is you get no sense of you interfering with the ceremony or pushing your way into places where you're not welcome.
The idea was to disappear.
Yeah. You
So
did-
we spent a month and a half actually up there doing
Right.
it. And during the time, we got so familiar with the people as part of the ceremony there that we disappeared.
They just accepted you as
Yeah.
part of the scenery.
Yeah, we were
sort
able
of
to
thing.
bring in big equipment and
Yeah.
stuff into a ceremony, which hadn't been done before because it usually interferes.
Exactly, yeah.
And we disappeared and became part of the ceremony.
So you had a very privileged
Oh, it
experience
was an
then.
incredible experience to be up there and spend that time and the knowledge gained.
The show itself, when I shouldn't call it the show, the ceremony when you see it is just staggering, like the costumes and all this stuff, the dancing which goes on, the barongs which come out.
Yeah, so deep, the meanings of each of those things.
But it's a real spectacle sort of thing. But also your film itself, I like the way you edit it, the way you put it together. Did
Really?
it take long to put it together?
It took almost a year and a half to 2 years to edit.
Right.
From over a month and a half, there would have been 80 hours of footage.
And it all had to come down.
And it all had to come down to a half hour.
Wow, yeah. And the music, I liked the music too, the gamelan in it was fantastic. That was recorded specially for the movie?
No, it was taken from parts of the story and then composed by Gus Till.
Okay. So look, thanks for coming in, Marcus. We're going to have a look at a lot of your movie now because we really like it, and I'm sure all your viewers out there will like it as well. So stay tuned for Marcus Shaw McBain's The Rites of Peace.
The rites of peace are as old as the rites of war. But few have the endurance of the Madewasraya. It's been performed by the Balinese unchanged for over 1,000 years. It isn't just a prayer for peace. It's an extravaganza of focused intention. More than 100,000 people, 6 months of preparation for 8 days of power. It's a surviving vestige of the mystical kingdoms of medieval Java. But it also gives a glimpse of the common threads at the root of all our religions, and of a time when the supernatural ruled the world. Sraya means giving back, cleansing ourselves, leaving new space for peace. Peace amongst ourselves, peace with nature, and peace with the great unseen beyond us, by whatever names we choose. In today's world, the Madewasraya has particular edge. This is the story of the greatest of Balinese peace rites, first recorded over 1,000 years ago and performed again in all its glory in 2006. Centuries before European explorers first circumnavigated the globe, or even dreamed the Far East existed, spectacular civilizations flourished in the volcanic islands of Sumatra and Java. From the first millennium AD, their traces survive in such temple complexes as Prambanan to Hindu gods, and Borobudur to Buddhism. The greatest religious structure south of the equator, Borobudur was built 200 years before the first cathedrals of medieval Europe, by a people who abruptly vanished beneath the volcanic ash of one of Mount Merapi's eruptions. From as early as the 8th century, Bali was being influenced by the Indianized dynasties of Java. But whereas they had combined both Buddhism and Hinduism in a single mix, in Bali, 9 conflicting sects had arisen, and it was to unite all these under one belief, one God of 3 faces, that in the reign of King Udayana, the first recorded Madewasraya in Bali took place here in the year 1011 AD, as written on these actual tablets.
It is written in the transcript of Hairawang, while the world in bad condition, and this harmony between human relationship happened, then Madewasraya must be done.
It's here that the great peace rite was performed since before the birth of Genghis Khan. When Tuluk Biu was destroyed by the 1926 earthquake, its power relics, including its holy tablets, were distributed amongst neighboring communities. They're now brought forth and carried in procession in arks, like the Ark of the Covenant of biblical times. And most sacred of all, the Prastasti tablets, made of copper and inscribed in Jawa Kuning, one of the ancient Vedic languages brought from India by the kingdoms of Java. The great dynasties of Java had arisen from controlling the sea trade in spices to India and China, until eventually the Majapahit Empire had ranged from mainland Burma and Siam throughout much of modern-day Indonesia, or Nusantara as it was called. It was to unify this broad dominion that the second recorded rites of peace took place here in the year 1350 under Gajah Mada. The Majapahit Empire survived until the early 1500s. Later branches in their unification process also embraced Islam that spread through Java and Sumatra, fast becoming the dominant religion in Indonesia till this day. The royal Hindu-Buddhist households, together with all their priests, returned to the island of Bali. Instead of the vast temples of Java, it was now tens of thousands of smaller ones. Here, combined with the local animism, their mysticism flourished, as it still does today, 1,000 years later. The Madewasraya thus survives as a unifier of wide cultural and religious diversity. and the gathering of holy water from sacred springs from throughout Nusantara reflects both the former grandeur of the Majapahit Empire and modern Indonesia's national motto, unity in diversity, which might now well apply to the whole world.
On that day, we pray to the God to make the man each other peace.
For all our varied beliefs since earliest time, our hearts share a similar course. And in this surviving rite from our deepest past lies the power of directed thought, of religious tolerance, of willingness to ask forgiveness and start again.
I just feel so happy because this ceremony is done successfully, and I hope after this ceremony done, I give a peace for the world.
Thus ends the Madewasraya of 2006, the greatest of Balinese peace rites, which for over 1,000 years in troubled times has helped us restore harmony amongst ourselves, our gods and our environment. And on this occasion, we hope it has touched the whole world.